Welcome to Red Online School Education 2021-22, Sadhguru Gadge College, Karad. Guidance by respected Principal Dr. Mohan Rajmani Sir, Standard 11th Commerce, Subject Bookkeeping and Accountancy. Myself, Power SS from Sadhguru Gadge College, Karad. In last lecture, we have studied about the vouchers. In that, cash receipt, cash voucher, cash memo, credit memo, and checks, bearer check, order check, crossed check, and account pay check. On the basis of vouchers, each transactions are recorded in journal. So, every journal give a title or name of the firm or organization is a compulsory because Ram sold goods to Lakshman of rupees 1000. In that transaction, Ram is a giver and Lakshman is a receiver. So title is given in the books of Ram. In this account, Ram goods is a goes out. So goods account is a credited. And when Lakshman's title is given of the journal, so in this journal, goods is a comes in. So goods account is a debited. So each journal given a title is a compulsory. Then in journal, 5 columns are required. First column is a date, second is a particular, then LF, then debit rupees and credit amount rupees. In date column, each transaction's date is recorded here. So method of date recording, first record is year, then month and then date. So for example, 1st April 2020. So this date recorded in this column 2020 April 1st. Then next column is a particular. In particular column, which account is debited and which account is credited is mentioned in this column. For example, purchase account debit to sales account or salary account debit to cash account. And each journals after recording narration into bracket. Narration means a brief explanation of the transaction is called as narration. So narration recorded into bracket, start the word being. Then LF. LF means ledger folio, page number of ledger. So in this column could not recorded any figure or any word. So it is a blank column. Then debit amount rupees. In this column, which account is debited, that account's amount recorded here. And in credit column, the credited account's amount recorded here. We will see the following example, how to journalize in the books of account. Example, 1st January 2020, paid salary rupees 1000. In these transactions, 2 accounts are involved. First is a salary account and then cash account. You know about classification of account. Into classification of accounts are classified into 2 categories. First is a personal account and second is a impersonal account. Personal account means which accounts related to person. Person means a live person, artificial person or representative persons. These related accounts are to personal account. And then which accounts not related to person, these are involved in impersonal account. In impersonal account, 2 accounts are involved. First is a real account. Real accounts related to properties or assets. And then nominal account. In nominal account, all expenses, incomes, gains and losses, these are related to nominal account. So above the transactions, paid salary rupees 1000. So salary and cash, the 2 accounts involved in our transaction. So salary is related to expenses of that business. So salary is a nominal account and cash is a real account. Then applicable rules. Salary is a nominal account. So nominal account rule is all expenses and losses are debit, all incomes and gains are credit. So salary is the expenses of that business. So salary account is a debited. Then cash is related to real account. So rule of real account, debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So cash goes out from the business, so cash account is credited. For example, on 1st January 2020, paid salary rupees 1000. These transactions recorded in journal. First gave a title, journal of Mr. or Mrs., etc. Then in date column, the date of transaction 1st January 2020. So right here first year 2020, then month January, then date 1 2020 January 1st. In particular, first account debit is right here and then credit account is right here. So salaries account debit to cash account. The narration of the transaction being paid for salary. The salaries amount recorded in debit column and cash amount recorded in credit column. Then following transactions, how to record it into journal, I will explain that. Journalize the following transactions in the books of Sharad General Stores. 2020 April 1st. Started business with cash rupees 1 lakh. Purchase goods from Kishore on credit rupees 10,000. Paid into State Bank of India rupees 20,000. Sold goods worth rupees 80,000 to Kiran at the rate 10% trade discount and received cash after allowing her 5% cash discount. So these transactions, how to record it in the books of Sharad General Stores, I will explain that. So in journal, each and every transaction is recorded on the basis of voucher. So following example, journalize the following transactions in the books of Sharad General Stores and some transactions are given here. So these transactions how to record it in journal, I will explain that. So first transaction is 2020 April 1st, started business with cash rupees 1 lakh. In that transaction, business started by proprietor and amount invested into business rupees 1 lakh. So in this transactions, two accounts are involved. First is the cash and second is the capital. When any proprietor cash or goods or any asset invested into business is called as capital. Instead of proprietor, any other person cash or goods invested into business is called as loan. So in this transaction, first account is a cash because cash comes in the business, and second account is a capital. So proprietor invested into business, so second account is a capital. So cash is a real account and capital is a personal account. So rule applicable of a personal account is a debit the receiver and credit the giver. Proprietor cash uh, gives to the business. So proprietor is a giver, so capital account is a credit, and cash comes in the business. So cash account is a debit. So these transactions in journal recorded first in date column, date first year 2020, then month April 1st. Then in particular column, first effect goes to debit and second effect is a credit. So first effect is a cash account debit, cash account debit to capital account. Then the amount of cash is recorded in debit column because cash account is a debit, and amount of capital is recorded in credit column because capital account is a credit. In LF column could not recorded any figure or any word. So in debit column rupees 1 lakh, and in credit column rupees 1 lakh. Then narration means a brief explanation of the transaction is called as narration recorded into bracket compulsory and start the word is a being. So narration into bracket being started business with cash and bracket complete. So first transactions are recorded in the books of Sharad General Stores in date column 2020 April 1st, cash account debit
capital account, and narration, it is recorded in particular column. In LF column could not recorded any amount or any word. Then in debit column rupees 1 lakh, and in credit column rupees 1 lakh. So next transaction is a 2nd April, purchased goods from Kishore on credit rupees 10,000. In this transaction, goods sold on credit means cash received in a future date. Credit transaction means purchased or sold goods on a particular time, but amount received or paid in future date is called as credit transaction. So in 2nd April, purchased goods from Kishore on credit rupees 10,000. So these transactions involve in two accounts. First is a purchases account and second is a Kishore account, because it is a credit transactions. So this entry passed in the books of Sharat. First date 2020 April 2nd. So first account is debit and second account is a credit. So purchase account debit, purchases account debit to Kishore account. So debit account rupees recorded in debit column, and credit account rupees recorded in credit column rupees 20,000. Purchase account is a debit, so in debit column 20,000 in front of purchase, and Kishore account is a credit. So amount rupees 10,000, and in credit column amount rupees 10,000. Then narration of the transaction into bracket being purchased goods on credit. Purchased goods on credit. Complete the process of transaction recorded in the books of Sharat General Stores. It is the second transaction. Purchased goods from Kishore on credit rupees 10,000. The transactions are recorded in journal. First is the date column 2020 April 2nd. Then in particular column, purchased account debit to Kishore account, amount 10,000, and narration being purchased goods on credit. Then next transaction is a paid into State Bank of India rupees 20,000, means cash deposited into bank. So in that transactions, two accounts are involved. First is the State Bank of India and second is the cash. State Bank of India is a artificial person, so related to personal, and cash, it is related to real account. So applicable rules of personal account, debit the receiver and credit the giver, and real account rule is a debit out comes in and credit out goes out. In that transaction, cash goes out from the business, so cash account is a credit, and receiver, State Bank of India is a receiver, so State Bank of India account is a debit. So the transactions recorded in journal. First, State Bank of India, State Bank of India account debit to cash account, amount rupees 20,000, and then narration being cash deposited into bank, in bracket complete. So the transactions are recorded in journal. State Bank of India account debit to cash account rupees 20,000, and date is a compulsory recorded in date column. The date is a 2020 April 3rd. Then second transaction is a sold goods worth rupees 80,000 to Kiran at the rate 10% trade discount, and received cash after allowing her 5% cash discount. In that transaction, name of the customer is a given, is a Kiran. So it is not a credit transaction, because in that transaction cash discount is allowed. So if any cash transactions are received or paid cash, it's called as cash transaction. So Cash discount is allowed only in cash transactions if name of credit is given in the transaction but not a credit transaction, it is a cash transaction. So trade discount and cash discount calculated on the amount of sold goods rupees 80,000. So first trade discount is calculated on a gross amount. Gross amount is 80,000. Amount multiple by rate divided by 100. This formula used to calculate discount. 80,000 multiplied by 10 divided by 100. So 8,000 is a trade discount. 8,000 is a trade discount. Trade discount amount rupees 8,000, it is calculated less from the gross value but not recorded in the books of account. Then the amount of trade discount is a less from the gross value. So gross value amount rupees 80,000 less trade discount 8,000. So balancing amount is a 70,000. On 70,000, a cash discount is calculated. So rate of cash discount is a 5% and amount of is 72,000. So amount 72,000 multiplied by rate 5% divided by 100. So cash discount is a 3,600. Then trade discount and cash discount, both the discounts are less from the gross value. So cash discount of rupees 3,600 less from the amount and get a balancing figure 68,400. So amount total amount rupees 80,000 and trade discount is 8,000. These are calculated but not recorded in the books of account. So final amount recorded in journal is a 72,000 is a amount of sales. Then 3,600 is the amount of discount and 68,400 the amount received actual by the firm or proprietor. So it is a trade discount not recorded in the books of account. This amount is a sales, this amount is a discount, and this amount is a cash. So in that transaction, three accounts are involved. First is a sales account, then discount account, and cash account. Sales account is always shown credit balance. Cash comes in the business, so cash account is a debit. Which account goes to cash? So similarly, same account to discount account. So these transactions recorded in the books of Sharad General Stores. First account goes to debit and second account goes to credit. So first account is a cash account debit, cash received 68,400. Then discount account debit rupees 3,600 and then to sales account amount 72,000. Then in date column, the date of that transaction 4th April 2020, recorded first year 2020 April 1st. Then in particular column, cash account debit, discount account debit to sales account. Then narration start the word being sold goods for trade discount and cash discount and bracket complete. The in debit column, the cash account is debited rupees 68,400, discount account is debited rupees 3,600, and sales account credited rupees 72,000. So amount of sales is recorded in credit column. So all transactions are recorded in the books of Sharad General Stores, and finally the account is closed or gave a sum of the both columns, debit column and credit column. The total is equal.
First transaction started business with cash. So when any proprietor cash or goods invested into business is called as capital. So in this transaction, cash account and capital account always shown credit balance. So journal entry passed in the books of Sharad, cash account debit to capital account, then narration being started business with cash rupees 1 lakh. Then next transaction, purchase goods from Kishore. It is a credit transaction. So purchase account is debited and Kishore account is credited. So journal entry passed in the books of Sharad, purchases account debit to Kishore account, narration being purchases goods on credit. So amount of purchase recorded in debit column and amount of Kishore is recorded in credit column. The next transaction, cash deposited into bank. So bank is a receiver and cash is a goes out. So State Bank of India account debit to cash account, narration being cash deposited into bank. The State Bank of India account debited, so amount recorded in debit column, and cash account is a credit, so amount recorded in credit column. And last, goods sold for cash and trade discount and cash discount are allowed. So 10% trade discount is calculated firstly, less from the gross value, then remaining amount. The cash discount is calculated, trade discount calculated but not recorded in the books of account, and cash discount calculated less from the amount and recorded in the books of account. Narration being sold goods with cash discount and trade discount. Then all transactions are recorded in the books of account. Then finally, total, the debit column and credit column, the total of debit and credit column is equal. Thank you.